Hello everyone, I am Vivek Saxena, working as an assistant professor in ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Now we will discuss the mesh analysis method, case 2. In our previous video, I have explained the mesh analysis method of case 1. In case 1, the circuit consists only voltage sources and resistances. In the case 2, the circuit consists, this one is the slide of our previous video. The circuit consists only voltage sources and resistances. In our next example of case 2, you can see here the circuit consists voltage sources, current source and resistances. In this particular example, there are two voltage sources 20 volt and 10 volt, resistances and a current source 2 ampere and a current source of 2 ampere. The 2 ampere current source is appeared in the outer branch of a particular mesh. Again, we will apply mesh analysis to find the solution of this circuit. After finding the solution, we can give the answer that the value of current in any particular element or branch of this circuit. To apply mesh analysis, firstly we have to find the mesh. In this particular circuit, the number of mesh are 3. Now first one mesh is this, and second one mesh is this, and third one mesh is this. Now in this mesh 1, we have assigned current I1. In mesh 2, we have assigned current I2. In the mesh 3, the current source is appeared in the outer branch of this mesh. If the current source is appeared in the outer branch of a particular mesh, then we already know the value of current in that particular mesh. Now we can say in this particular mesh, this one is mesh number 3. In mesh 3, the value of current is 2 ampere, that is flowing from right to left direction. Now we will not apply KVL in this particular mesh because we already know the value of current in this particular mesh. Now we will apply the current in mesh 1 and mesh 2. In mesh 1, to apply KVL in mesh 1, firstly we have to do the sum of all the resistances that are associated with the mesh 1. In mesh 1, the sum of resistances are 5 plus 4, this one is 9 ohm. Now this 9 ohm, the sum of these resistances 9 ohm is multiplied by the current that is flowing in the mesh 1. The current in mesh 1 is I1. Now this 9 ohm is multiplied by the current of mesh 1. This one is the value of this parameter would be 9I1. After that, we will find the resistance of this mesh that would be common to the another mesh. After finding the common resistance, we can say that 4 ohm resistance is common in between mesh 1 and mesh 2, and 5 ohm resistance of mesh 1 is common in between mesh 1 and mesh 3. Now firstly we will write here 4 ohm resistance that is common in mesh 1 and mesh 2. Now this 4 ohm resistance would be multiplied by the I2. I2 is the current that is also flowing in 4 ohm resistance except I1. Now we will write here 4I2. Now I1 is flowing from upward to downward direction, and in 4 ohm the I2 is flowing from downward to upward direction. So we have to write minus here. If the current is assumed I2 in anti-clockwise direction, then the direction of I1 and I2 would be same for the resistance 4 ohm. Then it would be taken as a positive sign. But both the currents are in clockwise direction, and in the 4 ohm the direction of I1 and I2 is opposite to each other. That's why we have taken here minus 4I2. After that, we will write the next common resistance. Another common resistance is 5 ohm, that is common in between mesh 1 and mesh 3. we will write here 5 ohm. Except I1, there is 2 ampere current that would flow in 5 ohm resistance. That's why I have written here 2 ohm, 2 ampere, sorry, 2 ampere. Now I1 is flowing from left to right direction and 2 ampere is also flowing from left to right direction. It means the directions of I1 and 2 ampere are same for the common resistance 5 ohm. That's why I have taken here the positive sign. Is there any resistance of mesh 1 to that would be common to another mesh? No. There is two resistances only, 4 ohm and 5 ohm, and I have written here 4 ohm and 5 ohm. After that, we will write here the equal sign and we will find the value of voltage source of mesh 1. In the mesh 1, the voltage source is 20 volt and I1 is flowing from lower potential to higher potential. That's why I have taken this as plus 20. If the current is assumed in anti-clockwise direction, then the current will flow from higher to lower potential. That's why we will take minus 20 here. Now this one is the equation 1. After solving this equation, we will get the value 9I1 minus 4I2 is equal to 10. This one is equation number 1. Now we will apply KVL in mesh 2. In mesh 2, again we will sum all the resistances of mesh 2. Now after doing the sum of all the resistances of mesh 2, this one is 4 and 2. So this would be 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. The current in mesh 2 is I2. We will write here 6I2. Again we will find the common resistance of mesh 2. Now 4 ohm resistance is common in between mesh 2 and mesh 1. We will write here 4 and I1 because except I2, the current flowing in 4 ohm resistance is I1. That's why I have written here minus 4 I1. Another common resistance of mesh 2 is 2 ohm, that is common in between mesh 2 and mesh 3. That's why I have written here 2 ohm resistance and the current except I2 is 2 ampere that is flowing in the common resistance. So we will write here 2 into 2. This one is the 2 ohm resistance and this one is the 2 ampere current. The direction of I2 and 2 ampere are same in this particular resistance. That's why we will write here plus sign. Now again we will write equal sign and we will find the value of voltage source that is associated with the mesh 2. In the mesh 2, there is a voltage source of 10 volt and if we follow the direction of I2, I2 is flowing from higher to lower potential. If the current is moving in clockwise direction, then I2 will flow from higher to lower potential. That's why we have to write here minus 10. After solving this equation, we will get the value minus 4I1 plus 6I2 is equal to minus 14. Now in mesh 3, we will not apply KVL in mesh 3 because we already know the value of current in this particular mesh. We will solve these equations for finding the unknown variables. There are two unknown variables. First one is I1 and second one is I2. For finding the value of I1 and I2, we have the requirement of two quadratic equation. Now this one is two equations, 9I1 minus 4I2 is equal to 10 and second one is minus 4I1 plus 6I2 is equal to minus 14. After solving these equations, we will get the value of I1 and I2. The value of I1 is 0.1052 ampere and the value of I2 is minus 2.263 ampere. The minus value of I2 shows that we have assumed the current in clockwise direction, but actually the current is flowing is flowing in anti-clockwise direction. If we want to take the direction of I2 in clockwise, then it would be minus. If we will take the direction of I2 in anti-clockwise direction, then the value of I2 would be plus. Now, after solving this circuit, now we are able to find the value of current in any particular element or branch of this circuit. Suppose you have been asked to find the value of current in 4 ohm resistance. 4 ohm resistance is the common resistance in between mesh 1 and mesh 2. It means the final current of 4 ohm would be the algebraic sum of I1 and I2. The current in 4 ohm resistance would be I1 minus I2 in downward direction. If you want to write I2 minus I1, then the final current would flow from downward to upward direction. For an example, we found here the value of current in 5 ohm resistance. In 5 ohm resistance, 5 ohm again is a common resistance in between mesh 1 and mesh 3. 5 ohm, that's why the final current, the resultant current of 5 ohm resistance would be the algebraic sum of I1, that is the mesh current of, that is the current of mesh 1, and the I3, that is the mesh current of 3. Now the current of 5 ohm resistance would be I1 plus I3. Now the final current would be, the resultant current is I5 ohm is I1 plus 2, that would be equal to 2.1052 ampere. Again, if you want to find the current in 2 ohm resistance, it would be I2 plus I3, and in 1 ohm resistance, that is already we know that the current in 1 ohm resistance is 2 ampere. Now in our next video we will talk about the case 3. In case 3, the current source will appear in the common branch of the circuit. In this particular case 2, the current source is appeared in the outer branch of the mesh, but if the current source is appeared in the common branch of the circuit, or you can say the common branch of two mesh, then we have to apply super mesh analysis for find the solution of that circuit. That would be categorized into case 3. Thank you.